Good morning, folks. This is Waylon Lewis from Elephant Journal on a kind of cool, rainy day. Not rainy, cool, wet day. And I am just checking to see if I have to say anything on Skype. And then I will be focused like a laser beam. But right now I'm coughing up, and I recommend you do the same if you're a coffee person. Nothing like drowning coffee in sweet almond milk. All right, I'm going to be live in 5 seconds. 5, 4. All right, looks like I don't have to say anything special. Every day I get my assignments from my bosses. The joke is when you're a boss, like I am at a business, basically you work for everybody and everyone's in charge. All right. Coffee, Colin. So if you're just tuning in, let me know if you like, which I always love, where in the world you live. Where in the world is you? And I am going to just put my computer screen up a little bit so you don't have to look at the bottom of my chin. Sweet almond milk. Yeah, the interesting thing is that 99% of coffee is god-awful and you have to drown it in milk and sugar. That's why people do that. Unless, my favorite now, thanks to Dave who works at Elephant, is Kicking Horse coffee. It's dark, and if you make it with the perfect grinder and the little, what's the European thing called, where it goes and it goes to the top, then it's super good. All right, Taylor from upstate New York, Kimmy from Prince George, British Columbia. All right, so today I wanted to talk about, because I was just reading the New Yorker in my hot tub this morning, getting my old body ready for another day of life, and did a couple stretches. So I'm reading the New Yorker, and it's about both the Republicans and the Democrats, but I only read the first half, which is about the Republicans, and it's interesting how aggressive we all get about politics, and I just wanted to talk about that. I'm liberal generally, but I have moderate and even conservative tendencies on various issues, and I think historically that's what Americans have been. We've been willing to kind of get together and agree. If we disagreed, we could be agreeable about it generally, and even when we're freaked out and angry at each other, like obviously around the Civil War, or when poor people got the right to vote, or women got the right to vote. There's been so many huge movements in the U.S., and I think we forget that while Donald J. Trump might seem like an unusual Republican, and he certainly is, you know, he's switched parties something like 6 times in the last 12 years. He's not even really a Republican. He's just Trump. And people love him for that. And while it may seem like Armageddon or the end of the world if he gets elected, because he's so kind of all over the place and blustery and aggressive, and that could be kind of scary, I think it's a good reminder that, you know, America and the world has been through an epic amount, and nevertheless, somehow we're in a peaceful time. We're still destroying nature. We're still have a long ways to go in terms of race relations, in terms of basic respect and equality. But as Obama likes to say, hopefully together we can bend the arc of justice bend the arc of history toward justice. So I don't want to talk about being liberal or Republican or libertarian or Jill Stein versus whoever. I don't want to get into that hate, but I want to talk about that hate, and I want to talk about the notion that when did we Americans lose the ability to, and for everyone out there in the world, you're going through the same issues. There's these extremist parties on both sides who are kind of, buying guns and building compounds, as in this article I was just reading. This guy was quoted as saying, if Hillary wins, all we can do is go to our compound with all of our guns and wait. And I was like, well, enjoy your wait. I hope you have Netflix and Hulu and some good books, because nothing's going on. more people have bought guns with no problem in Obama's 8 years than in any whatever you call it, any tour of service. I need more coffee. In American history. So basically, from a mindful point of view, which is what these talks are about, we need to, when we are taking ourselves too seriously, and so this can leave the realm of politics. Goodbye, politics. And all of you can breathe a sigh of relief, because it's not polite to talk about politics. But it's important to talk about politics because it affects life. As I write about relatively frequently. We post about politics. We have these silly hats. And we have Make Clinton President Again. Get it? Because Clinton was president in the 90s. And we had a Make America Kind Again hat. And we have a Make Boulder Weird Again hat. We have all these hats. If you want one, you can go get them at our shop. Elephant. I think we have an editor on duty that could leave the link in there. But I'm not here to sell you hats today. I'm here to talk about when we take ourselves so seriously that we hate other people and we hate the world. That's when we need to do something very simple, which is, and if you all agree, give it a like, give it a heart, give it a funny face, give it a share, whatever, or just give it a comment and disagree respectfully. But if you're feeling so serious about whatever you love, whether it's veganism, Bernie, Hillary, Trump, gluten-free, one of the most aggressive responses I ever got from Elephant Journal readers is when we talked about how gluten-free really was kind of a health fad and not good for most people, or not, at least not better for most people. You would think we were talking about like raping and pillaging people. The reaction was so extremely hateful. And obviously, those with celiac disease, it's a real thing. But these gluten-free companies are just taking advantage of you. It's a fad, and they're putting out processed white flour cookies and calling it gluten-free. And it may be gluten-free, but it's not better for you. What's better for you is gardening, eating local, supporting farmers, eating real food, as Michael Pollan discussed. So anyway, if you're so uptight about whatever your cause is, like we all know hateful vegans, I'm vegan, I try not to be hateful. Whatever your cause is, Trump, Hillary, veganism, gluten-free, it can be a serious thing, it can be a small thing, that you're being hateful to other people, you have missed the point. I have missed the point. And that is the point of today. So if I'm a Trump fan, I need to be able to talk about that in an open way with a sense of dignity, friendliness, humor. If I'm a Hillary fan, I need to be able to talk about that in a caring way with a sense of, as we discussed yesterday, genuine heart of sadness, humor, respect, friendliness. That's it. If you can't do that, you're a jerk. You might be a jerk on my side, you might be a jerk on their side, but you're just a jerk. And you know what? Here's the good news. The good news is, if you're a jerk, we're all jerks sometimes. Just as in meditation practice, come back to the present moment and stop being a jerk. So the way you can do that is to make fun of yourself. So yesterday on my Instagram account, if you're on Instagram, at Waylon Lewis, I was hanging out with Redford and a couple little kids and some moms, and we were all running around being silly. The kids were super in love with me because I'm different, and I'm like a big toy basically for like an hour. And I'm super in love with them because it's super fun for me to just lighten up and run around and not work and race people around a rock and jump on this big metal structure and make sure they're not getting their hands stuck in the hole of the metal structure. And, you know, it's just fun to be like Uncle Waylon and then be able to go home and not have kids. It's super fun. Being a parent, respect. It's a lot of work. So something about that lightening up, running around, being a dork, being silly was so good for me. And I think in this political season when the elections are coming up, we need to remember that the best solution for a country consumed with hate and seriousness and fear and vilifying other people is simply to make fun of yourself. I saw a sign on a fence, and that's a quote for Lindsay, if you can pass that along for our Instagram. But, you know, I saw this fence and it had this sign. I put it on at Waylon Lewis, I think. And it said, "Do not climb or sit." and I had the genius idea, it's not really genius, of course, at all, to both climb and sit right in front of the sign. So Redford sat and I climbed on the fence. And just being foolish. So in Buddhism, there's from Trungpa Rinpoche, and maybe the editor on duty could put a blog by Trungpa in the comments, great Buddhist teacher. He had this slogan that said, not afraid to be a fool. So don't be afraid to be a fool. Just lighten up. If you can't make fun of yourself, if you can't make fun of what you care about, you're a jerk. And again, the good news is we're all jerks. So you can come back from being a jerk and just make fun of yourself. Really easy. So if you're a Trump fan, make sure to make fun of yourself once a day, maybe twice. If you're a Hillary fan, make sure to make fun of yourself. If you're a Jill Stein or Gary Johnson or Disgusted with Everyone fan, make fun of yourself. Just make fun of yourself. Whenever you're too serious, consumed with passion, when we take what we love too seriously, we turn it into hate. And that's how wars happen. Lindsay Block quote. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm going to go through some comments, then we'll meditate and wrap up. This is a huge video. 1 million people are on it. I'm very excited, especially considering my horrible title. Ellie Schutt from Spokane, Washington. I want to move to Washington. Da-da-ding, da-da-doom. Debbie, Indiana. Cassandra, Alberta. Brandy, Geneva, Ohio. Alexis, West Palm Beach. Hayes, Kansas. Hay from Hayes. Brenda. Leslie. Good Leslie. You get a like. Taylor, upstate New York. Prince George, New York City. Tammy. La la la. Everyone's from everywhere. It's super cool. Technology can be cool. Stacy, Vancouver. Mimi, coffee, black with 4 sugars. I like black coffee. If you can't drink your coffee black, that probably means your coffee is awful, which probably means address that. So I only drink it with almond milk and sugar and all that stuff in there. I don't add sugar, but there's tons of sugar in it. If the coffee is maybe not how I like to make it. There's Kat. I think Kat is on duty. Don't get Ellie started, folks, on women and the right to vote. Don't get her started. Kathy, basic respect and equality. I loved what Samantha Bee said the other day. She said about Jimmy Fallon and the executives at NBC or CBS or whatever it is. I don't watch it, but I do watch them on YouTube. She said they're okay. They may not be racist, but they're okay with other people being racist. And I think fundamentally that's my issue with Trump is I'm not into the kind of anti-immigration, blame everybody else, actual report based on facts and science just came out showing that immigrants are not bad for our economy. We're a nation founded on immigrants. Wave after wave of immigrants have contributed to the fabric that is this country. We just have to make sure that it's welcoming and that they can be a part of this country. Basic respect and equality, as Kathy says. Preach, Renee. And, you know, nothing of what I just said is liberal. Like, there's every Republican who's watching this, and respect and honor to you, you're probably descended from immigrants, unless you're a Native American, right? Ellie Schutt. Personal experience here, we lost the ability because as a society, the majority of people don't even understand themselves, let alone accept others or the view of others. Yeah, I would agree with that. But where do we go from there? We have to get to know ourselves through prayer, through meditation, through reading, through discussion, through the Commonwealth, through exchanges with those who we disagree with that are respectful, whether on Facebook or in the public square, you know, the farmer's market. Make America kind again. Yeah, go get our hats if you guys want them. I think it's just elephantjournal.com/hat. You don't need that search link. Diets are a religion. Yeah, gluten-free can be great, but gluten-free processed cookies in plastic may not be great from a major corporation. Jill, I am now doing the videos at 9 a.m. We're trying it out because they're so popular early in the morning. You guys are all up early. What the hell? Compassion is everything. Compassion, acceptance. Funky Uncle Waylon. I don't know about funky, but... all right, Michelle has a lot to say, and you should say it in an article. elephantjournal.com/submit. Make sure it's You've got sources. That sounds fantastic. Wendy, we're just discussing the importance of making fun of yourself, especially around whatever you care about deeply. That if we take what we love too seriously, we ruin it. We gotta relax the sphincter of our soul. Don't quote me on that one. All right. Leslie, I laugh at myself all the time. Only one like for the sphincter of the soul comment, too. It's too early in the morning for her. Renee, I made a campaign for my bulldog wedding. Okay. Here's a quote. Hope and fear largely constitute all the emotions. Hope and fear represent the kind of pushing and pulling quality of duality. You hope for what you want, you fear what you don't want, and all the emotions consist of that. That's by Trunk Rinpoche on working with fear and anger. Lovely. Good guy. Michelle, humor heals, so laugh, laugh, laugh. Yeah, but don't make yourself laugh. You actually have to make fun of yourself. You actually have to do it. Fake laughing, like in the yoga community, you see a lot of people with Stepford wife smiles, and then they're gonna knife you in the kitchen. It's scary. Actually, just figure out how to make fun of yourself. Make fun of your wanting yourself to laugh or smile. Make fun of all of it. Jen in Denver. Pacific Northwest, Robin. Black coffee is the best. Nashville, Renee. Woo, Cat. Yeah, everyone give Cat some love. And we're talking about sort of the political tenor in the U.S. is so full of hate and fear and conspiracy theories and just general uptightness that we all need to be able to agree to disagree. We need to relearn how to discuss important issues like politics, equal rights, climate change, healthcare, without hating each other. Ashland, Oregon. Michelle, I can't come check out Ashland, Oregon. I'm sorry, because if I did, I would never leave. Corty. Corty is our web designer. Everyone give Corty some... why is she writing all this on Facebook? Contribute this to elephantjournal.com. You work with Elephant. This is a beautiful, intelligent comment. Put it into a blog on elephantjournal.com/submit. You are submitting an article to Elephant. I've been struggling with this, from Corty. Trump's policy and rhetoric threaten my family's freedom and safety. As a Hillary fan, I have no problem kindly discussing politics with burners, GJ, what is GJ? Gary Johnson supporters, etc. I really don't even want to talk to Trump supporters, as I think they are soft racists. Someone who chooses to either agree with racist policies or deny that the comments are racist. It is not my responsibility to educate someone that all people are equal and that no person is better than another. That's what the first sentence I disagree with. I don't think there's any problem saying, look, if you support Trump, he denies climate change is real. He has a long history of racism in his actions. Tons of illegalities. And yes, you could say there's some sketchiness on the other side. But if you look at Hillary's platform, largely thanks to Bernie, it's the most progressive platform in history. Sounds pretty good. Even if she fails 50%, presidents can't get everything done. We have checks and balances. That's going to be 50% of awesome. And if you disagree with me, we can discuss that respectfully and make fun of ourselves. All right, continuing with Corty. Oh my God, there's some scared faces flying by. People are scared of actually addressing climate change. No. It is not my responsibility to educate. I do think it is all of our responsibilities to educate and discuss people. I wouldn't say educate, that sounds a little condescending, but discuss with people about equal rights. That's what Elephant is here for. Whether, and we accept conservative articles too. So if you're hating me right now, you can write in your article about how Trump is great. Just make sure to have real sources, and we'll feature it. All right, so I avoid them at all costs and even stopped hanging out with friends who are Trump supporters and racist apologists. I think we have to be brave enough to talk with those we disagree in an agreeable way. I'm vegan, and I can't tell you, it's like 80% of every meal I ever go to with anyone. The joke is, how do you know if someone's vegan or does CrossFit or whatever? But how do you know if someone's vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Well, I actually never really bring it up unless I'm just ordering and I say, hey, what's vegan? I need to get something. And I make fun of myself while I do it. So it's not an uptight, weird thing. And but my friends, almost every single meal, ask why I'm vegan, and they want to discuss it. It's very interesting. So it's good practice in a funny way for me to discuss it without making them into bad people. The whole world is not going to be vegan tomorrow. The whole world is not going to care about equal rights or climate change. They have other priorities. They have, the Second Amendment or, and it doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but we have to be able to talk with them. Otherwise we all get siloed. And Facebook, I think, is one of the biggest dangers right now in that people unlike each other and don't discuss and don't even see people with other views because there's not overlap of likes. That's how the algorithm works. So really, regard it as your spiritual duty to discuss and listen with those who you might disagree with. You don't have to educate them. You just have to talk and listen. Just be human. Like the other day I ran into some Trump supporters and I joked and teased and listened and we had a good time. They were human beings, Human beings are very Trump, almost pretty word, but all right. Nick Maldo, illegal immigrants. Yes. But, what I would say, interesting, Nick, is that, oh my God, are we going there? What I would say is that just about every conservative I know employs illegal immigrants. It's kind of crazy. The liberal hippies in Boulder are all obsessed with fair labor and with Latino rights and with, and conservatives are pushing back on that all the time. So why is that, Nick? All right, Michelle. If you ain't native, your ancestors were immigrants. Even the Native Americans were probably immigrants at some point. They walked across from Russia, across the land bridge. So zebras were native to the U.S., right? And then they left for some reason. So if you're not a zebra, you're probably an immigrant. If you're a zebra, cheers. All right, chemicals in our oatmeal? Well, basically, if something's not organic, it's been sprayed with pesticides and all that. But I don't know. We weren't talking about that. But it's still important. Don't eat chemicals unless you need to or whatever. That's the worst, most generalized advice I've given to anyone ever. All right. Brinia. Respect and tolerance for others is the key. Amen. Brinia, cheers to you. Ellie, it's a great way to start off the day. Love the videos first thing in the morning. Cheers to you. All right. I want my shirt. Take it off. Yeah, I have a pretty cool shirt on today. And you can get these and more on elephantjournal.com. Apparently, if you tip the phone over, it falls. All right. Holy shit, there's a lot of people on this video. I probably shouldn't be swearing. Heather, much of my family has totally opposite political views from you. I love them all the same. Yes, it is possible to make love to a conservative or make love to a liberal if you disagree with them. You can still love them. Heather, cheers to you. And Heather, well, maybe you don't want to, but her sons have some of our hats, which are super cute. They have the Make Boulder Weird Again hats, which are green. They bring out your eyes. All right, Jill, I really enjoyed spending my lunch hour with you. I'm sneaking around to see this one. My day started 4 hours ago. Oh, you must be in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh well, if I miss out, I miss out. Love your videos. So remember, if you miss out on the videos, you can go to youtube.com/elephantjournal. We have almost 5 million views. Help us, support us. Independent media, trying to be mindful, trying to be fun, trying to be genuine. Share it, subscribe, get involved, and we'll still be around. If you don't get involved, we'll go away. All right, Anne, I love to be happy, and I try very hard to go around with only positive people. Yeah, I think positivity is overrated, but being genuine is the word I like. Corty, you just wrote a whole paragraph, so just copy and paste it. As you know, Corty, if you're too busy for something, it's not a priority. All right, so no big deal. Mimi, just feel yourself, period. The sad, the funny, the angry. Feel and appreciate all of your feelings, emotions, and experience. Why so serious? Amen, Mimi. Love that. Beautiful. Just make fun of yourself. Or myself. It's easy to make fun of me. You can all practice by making fun of me right now. Yes, it is. We all have the responsibility to educate those around us. Diane feels like every negative emotion that exists is currently heightened. Everyone needs to find their chill, man. We're all okay. We're all going to be okay. Once we're collectively agreed, then we can move forward. Yeah, you can either spend the next 4 or 8 years freaking out, or you can spend the next 4, in your compound with your guns, or if you're a liberal, in your, tiny house with your quinoa. But we just basically have to work together to create a kind society. And Republicans like to be kind, and liberals like to be kind. So let's all figure out a kind society. Go marry a liberal. Go marry a conservative. Just work it out. Meditation, time alone. Good stuff. Khalid, it's the communication. Yes, talking and listening with an open mind. Kells, great comments, folks. Leave a comment, say where you're from. Michelle, just for the record, you guys are awesome. Tolerance, compassion, empathy, love, discuss, and listen. You just might learn something yourself. Amen. Thank you, Michelle. Tamara, I'm here, and thank you. Dallas, rigorous dialogue on matters of consequence done civilly and with dignity, rare but necessary. Yes, we can discuss tough issues without hating each other. Diane, everyone's on defense mode. No, I'm not. Put your walls down. Yeah, unbuild this wall. Open your mind. Agree to disagree. Our job isn't to shove our beliefs and values down others' throats. Yeah, we can just discuss. The European colonists were illegal immigrants. Yeah. All right. Lots of comments. Jill in Denver. Hey from Daytona. There's our YouTube link. Positivity is overrated because we don't have to be positive unless you think that you're not fundamentally good. If we're fundamentally A-OK, which in Buddhism we consider all sentient beings to be fundamentally A-OK, then you don't have to focus on positivity. You just have to relax into your basic nature. So instead of trying to attain a higher state outside of you, or get rid of negativity, or attract positivity, you can just relax into your basic nature. You can just be genuine. It's a kind of subtle but huge distinction. Often positivity means that you're pushing away negativity. And negativity, what if I'm your best friend and I say, you know what? I love you, but you do this thing and it's really annoying, or it's really bad for you, or it's really bad for people around you, or I need to give you some feedback. That could be construed as negative, right? But it's actually really positive and loving, because we all have to grow by listening to the negative and learning from it, and by giving the positive. So often positivity turns into what I call gated community spirituality, where you try and keep all the goodness and you try and keep out all the scariness. So positivity can actually be really uptight and kind of selfish. And you see that in the yoga community, you see that in various communities. And I say that with love. All right. Lincoln, California. I didn't know there was a Lincoln in California. I knew there was a Lincoln in Nebraska. Hello from India, Sukanya. You get a big like from me. Jersey. You talking to me? How you doing? Positivity is overrated because la la la. Great comment from Ann. Write an article about it. Because Jill and her husband are on opposite sides of the fence. This is me running out of being able to read comments. Bratislava, Slovakia. Tomas, awesome. Get a big like from me. Gotta have the yin with the yang, as Diane says. I love that. Hi, Aunt Peggy. Isn't Waylon the coolest? Aw. Say hi to Aunt Peggy for me. Nothing wrong with some constructive criticism. So I read this 2-volume book about Elvis Presley, the rise and fall of Elvis Presley, and the fall of Elvis Presley, the weight gain and loss, weight gain and loss, weight gain and loss, weight gain and loss, the drugs, the misery, the depression. It all started when his mama died. And he was a good Southern boy, so he listened to criticism from his mama. He loved her, he trusted her. When she died, he no longer had anyone he loved and trusted, and he pushed away anyone who criticized him. So he surrounded himself with yes men. which reminds me of Donald Trump. And if you just surround yourself with yes men, you're, positive people. If you just surround yourself with positive people, you're effed. You got to surround yourself with genuine people, friends. I have a lot of friends in Boulder. All of them have criticized me extensively for good reasons. From Joe, A World Without Racism. Joe from Ohio. Sounds like Kanye. Alrighty. Wonderful discussion today. If you'd like to meditate, please join in. I'll do a little meditation instruction. I grew up in the Buddhist world, and that's what I got to share. Alright, so take a good posture. Relax your sit bones into the earth. Let's meditate for 1 second. Come back to the present moment. Come back from anger, fear, stress, busyness of your day, distraction. Just come back with relaxation to your fundamental human nature in the present moment. So take a deep breath. And let's just breathe in and out together a few times. Take a great posture. Actually do this if you're watching. Please take a good posture and then relax. Actually do this, you. Take a good breath. Just breathe in and out. Place your attention on your breath in and out. No need to like the video right now. There's a lot of likes. Just breathe in and out. This is a powerful opportunity for all of us. Breathe in and out. Eyes are open. We're not trying to shut anything out. This is Shamatha Buddhist meditation, or it will be in a moment. If you find yourself distracted, bored, wondering what's going on, thinking about lunch, just label it thinking. I'm distracted. Thinking. No big deal. Return your attention to your breath in and out. Thinking. Return your attention to your breath. And in so doing, we train our distracted minds to come back again and again. So next time you're in an argument, you come back from the argument to the present moment. Next time you're in a difficult situation or stressed out, you can come back naturally to the present moment and relax. All right, thank you. Maybe we can all join our hands together, or you can put your hands on your thighs, and with respect and friendship, offer ourselves a bow. If you'd like to get a hat, elephantjournal.com/hats. And if you'd like to get our newsletter, it's free. That's our very best stuff. elephantjournal.com/best. Put those links in, please. And if you've liked this video, please give it a like or a share, or subscribe to youtube.com/elephantjournal. And thank you so much. I only do this because you guys all show up. Right now we have 270 people watching right now. Typically we have about 20,000 people right the first in the first watch in the first hour. So it's pretty amazing. So you're pretty amazing, and have a sweet, sweet day. So Kels, if you want that meditation instruction in depth, it's called Shamatha. And Kat, if you could put a link to the Datun letter by Trungpa, D-A-T-H-U-N, Datun, or anyone here could help. Search Datun letter elephantjournal.com and put that in the links. That would be great. That's the best shamatha meditation instruction. But basically, you take a good posture, you bow to begin, you breathe in, you find your breath, take a good posture, relax, find your breath, and then after a moment, with your eyes open but down. You can label any distraction thinking, return to the breath when you're done. Bow in respect to yourself and your world. A reminder that meditation isn't for you, it's for everything. It's for the world. Dedicate your lives to be a benefit. Yeah, Buddhist meditation can be 2 minutes. Ideally, you would sit for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Group meditation is super important. You can go to your local Shambhala center. They have free meditation on Monday nights, Sundays. You can look in their calendar. Shambhala centers are in almost every city, or Shambhala groups, and there's many other Buddhist communities. And none of you need to be Buddhist, but meditation is great stuff, and it's free. You don't need to buy all the swag, you know. Alrighty, folks. Have a wonderful day. And bye to you, Mimi Butler.